I received a couple of messages recently that were asking me about entities, curses, that kind of stuff. And I had never ever received messages about this topic ever before. But when these messages came in, I just felt like I needed to talk about this because there is so much fear mongering out there. There is so much misinformation out there that is then making people feel so scared. And these messages I received, they were actually fearful messages, like people actually believing there were some entities or curses ruining their lives, and they were actually genuinely scared. Usually I wouldn't talk about stuff like this because to me, this is all complete BS. But since there are people who are actually genuinely believing in this, I feel like I need to talk about this. And of course, my intention with this video is to help you let go of all of this, but also to shed some light on why people believe in stuff like this in the first place. And again, I'm speaking from personal experience, and I'm going to share a story with you that will hopefully help you to understand what all of this is about. So a few years ago, somebody really close to me got quite ill. And she met a person who claimed to be a healer, somebody who could help. Now, this person told us she could help because there were some entities attached to, this person. There were some curses attached to that person as well from past lives. And she portrayed herself as this wonderful healing person who could help us get rid of all of this. So basically what she was saying was, that person is ill because of curses, entities, demons, and all that kind of stuff. And the issue with people like that is they create a problem that doesn't exist, but then they're also selling you the solution. And I am assuming this is happening a lot because this information about entities and curses and all of that, that's not new, unfortunately. Like there's a lot of people who actually believe in this kind of stuff. And you can see where it is coming from, right? There are people who benefit from you believing in this type of stuff. So she created a problem, entities, curses, all that kind of stuff, so she could sell her solution. Because she's obviously this incredible person, this amazing healer, and she can send these entities into the light. She can remove all of these curses, and she's the only one who can receive this type of information, right? And that is how people get you. They create fear because you cannot prove or disprove that there are entities or curses. But when you are in a situation where you're so scared about a loved one, or you're so scared about yourself, or you're not feeling well yourself, then it is easy for them to manipulate you. Because again, once you take in that information, once somebody tells you there are entities, there are curses, you take in that information unless you consciously disagree with it, and then it becomes your reality. It becomes part of your truth. And again, you cannot disprove or prove it. So you're like, oh, but what if that is actually true? Like, what if that actually is the reason why I'm not feeling well? So all of your common sense, it gets like thrown out of the window, because in a stressful situation like this, you cannot really think straight. And that is why a lot of people fall for this. And then once you are taking it in as truth, once you start to believe in stuff like this, that is when your mind will start to play tricks on you. Because some of the messages I received were actually about people having dreams about demons and this kind of stuff. And then they did some Google research, which is obviously the most reliable source in this world. And then that kind of gave them their proof that what they were thinking was actually real. Oh yeah, there was another person who had a dream about a demon, so it must be true, right? It must be real. If Google says so, it must be real. And that is the issue. Your mind will start to play tricks on you. You will then actually start to see this kind of stuff, even though it's just in your imagination. And you also have to think about the amount of stuff you have watched all throughout your life. I know when I was a teenager, I was obsessed with watching horror movies. I saw all of them. I saw all the monsters, all the vampires, all the demons, all the gargoyles, all that kind of stuff. I watched it all. And guess what's going to happen when you watch stuff like that? It sits in your subconscious mind. It just does, like every single thing. you have seen in your life, you have experienced in your lifetime, you have read in your lifetime. It's all saved in your personal little artificial intelligence computer up there. It's in your subconscious mind. And that subconscious mind creates reality for you. So yeah, there's a good chance you're going to have a dream about monsters and that kind of stuff, but it doesn't mean it's like a genuine message or it's something like a vision or any of that. No, it's simply something you have watched. Maybe it was something you watched when you were 12 or 13. And then obviously when you Google something, you will always find something that will justify what you want to believe to be true. And this is where we need to be so discerning and mindful about what we are watching, what we are actually taking in as truth. And I can tell you based on my personal experience, curses, entities, demons, all of this kind of stuff, it does not exist. It is not the reason people are ill. The reason why people who claim to be these healers or these whatever they call themselves, they don't actually get this information. Like they don't actually have this connection they believe they have. Because if they did, they could tell you exactly why you have a certain illness. They could tell you exactly what you need to let go of. They could tell you something about your personal life that happened, something traumatic that happened. They could pinpoint exactly what it is in your body that needs to be released, or a behavior that needs to change, a mindset that needs to change, something that will actually genuinely resonate with you. A person who is true and real will be able to give you some kind of information like that. A person who is fake or a person who simply claims to have all of these superpowers or whatever it is, this insight, they will tell you stuff about entities and curses. Because it's easy, right? Oh, I've actually no idea why you feel this way, but let's just say you have an entity. That's easy. And then I can tell you I can remove it for you. Simple, easy. So they're creating fear in you because, again, you cannot prove or disprove, and then they manipulate you. That is what people do. They manipulate with fear. And of course, it's easy to just simply brush it all off and say, oh yeah, it's an entity. That's why. Like, you don't need to change anything about your life. You don't need to change your way of thinking. You don't need to change your programs, patterns, or loops. No, you don't need to change anything about your life. We just need to get rid of that entity off your back, right? We just need to get rid of that curse. We all have an intuition. We all know what is the truth and what isn't. So why are we falling for stuff like this? Why is it that we are clinging onto this fear-mongering? We're buying into it instead of simply listening to our intuition. Because your consciousness, your true self, your intuition will tell you every single time that is not true. It is simply not true. Do not listen to it. Be mindful about what you're taking in. You're the only one who can heal yourself. You can't give away your power to somebody else, believing they can remove curses or entities or whatever it is. You are the only one who can heal yourself, and you do not need to heal from curses or entities. You need to take a good look at your life and realize why things are happening the way they are. So the person really close to me who got really, really ill, she was able to heal herself by understanding what she needed to change about her life. It never had anything to do with curses, entities, or demons, or any of that stuff. Never. It was always about her. Letting go of past trauma. Learning how to be loving and kind to herself. Because years and years and years of being unkind to yourself, that is exactly the result you're going to get. So she got better the moment she realized she had to change something about her life. Being committed to being kind to herself. And that is how we all have this beautiful ability to heal. Every single one of us. But we have to let go of this false truth. We have to let go of the bullshit. And one really funny thing this healer person said to me was, I will give you a lifelong protection. And I think that was actually the only true thing she's ever said to me. Because she did, in fact, give me a lifelong protection. Not based on what she did, but I now have a lifelong bullshit protection. I will never, ever in my life listen to bullshit again or buy into bullshit, and especially not the fear-mongering type. So to all the people who may be watching this video who sent me messages about being scared of curses and demons and all this kind of stuff, be discerning in what you're watching. Be discerning in what you are taking in, what kind of information you are taking in. When there's a YouTube video telling you, here's how to remove cursors, here's how to know whether an entity is stuck on your back or whatever it is, ask yourself, do I need to watch this? Is this something that will help me? Is this helping me to move forward? What is this person's intention? The person who made the video, what is their intention? Ask these questions. Question everything. Be discerning. It is the only way to protect yourself from this. And then when somebody tells you something about entities or all of that stuff, and you know in your heart, in your stomach, every cell in your body, that is not true, you consciously disagree with it. Because if you don't, it does become part of your reality. It will play in your subconscious mind. It doesn't make it real, but it is part of the illusion you are creating. But something I also want to mention is that I believe we cannot blame these people for telling us this type of stuff, because I believe they genuinely think they have these powers. I believe this person genuinely believes she has the ability to get rid of entities. Like, she genuinely believes in this type of stuff. So in a way, I just feel sorry for her, because she's also a prisoner in her own mind. Her ego tells her, you're this amazing healer person. You can help people. You can get rid of entities. You can get rid of curses and all that lot. And her mind doesn't allow her to see the truth. And that is incredibly sad. So I'm not blaming these people for doing what they do. I genuinely don't, because I can see they are suffering as well. They are suffering greatly. And the consequences their actions and behaviors have for another person, I can't even put that into words. But I still feel so incredibly sorry for them, because I know their mind makes them suffer. But I still need to speak my truth. I still need to get this information out, because there are people who genuinely believe in this stuff. Like, they're actually genuinely scared. I got a message from somebody who said something like she unfollowed a tarot reader or whatever it was, and then she believed she cursed her. And why would we believe stuff like that? Like, why would we waste our time with thoughts like that? It's not real. It does not exist. It is not true. Sure, a person can send you negative energy. Like, when you're gossiping or bitching about another person, they feel it. When you're being angry at another person, they feel that. Yes, sure, that is true. It doesn't exist in that type of scale. Like, it genuinely does not exist. I don't know how to make it any more clear. It does not exist. So why are you believing in it? We are so programmed to always go towards the negative. Like, we need to protect ourselves. Oh, I need to know about this type of stuff. I need to know about all the dangers that are out there in this world, especially like in this spiritual world, like demons and that type of stuff. I need to be protected. I need to be prepared. That is what your mind is telling you. But it's not protecting you. It's just, you have so much misinformation in your mind, and then it creates this illusion for you, this reality that literally does not exist. It just creates fear. And the way consciousness works for me, it's always kind and loving. It never creates stress or fear. Never. It would never do this. The best healers in this world are the ones who show you how you can heal yourself. Because a true healer knows they can only heal one person, and that is themselves. And they would pass on that information onto everybody else. They would empower you that you do not need anyone or anything in this world to heal you. You only need yourself, because you have your own consciousness inside of you. All this other stuff, it's marketing. Like, it's spiritual marketing. They're clever. They're creating a problem, and then they're selling you the solution. But the problem never existed in the first place. And when you are in distress and all you want is help for yourself or help for another person, you still need to use your common sense. You still need to listen to your intuition. And when you want to believe in this kind of stuff, then there's nothing I can do. You will continue to believe in it, but it doesn't make it any more real. And that is all I have to say about this topic. I am really grateful I had this experience. When I went through this experience, it wasn't very nice. And for a long time, I was really angry at that person. But now I see it as a gift because now I received a lot of messages from people who are genuinely scared about stuff like this. But I can offer help based on my experience now because I know exactly what it is. I know exactly it's just bullshit. And if I can relieve some of that stress and fear, then I'm really grateful I had this experience. I'm really, really grateful. And that is how I see everything that's happening in my life. No matter if it's a good experience or bad experience, how I perceived it to be, it was an experience that can help other people. And for that, it's worth it. So I really hope this video was helpful to you. Again, be discerning. Before you take in any type of information, question it. And remember to consciously disagree. Because if you don't, you have all of this information in your subconscious mind. And why would you want that? It creates fear, stress, worry, anxiety, all that stuff that you do not need. I'm sending all of you so much love, and I will talk to you in my next video.